Welcome to the November 25th, 2025 meeting of Henderson County Fiscal Court. We are glad you're with us. And for those watching online, we're glad you're with us as well. We'll begin as we always do with an invocation, and Reverend Janet Carden from Henderson First United Methodist Church is with us. Janet, would you lead us in prayer?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let us pray together. Oh, gracious God, as we come to you today, we are thankful for this day in which you've given us. And even though the weather is as it is outside, we feel the warmth of your touch within our hearts today. Be with us, all of us, especially today as we journey into this Thanksgiving season and time for family and friends. So, Lord, as we come today, our hearts are humbled. Be with us. These things we pray. Amen. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please call the roll.
Magistrate Starks.
Here.
Magistrate Berry is absent. Magistrate Southard.
Here.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Yes, ma'am.
And Magistrate Putman.
Here. Gentlemen, you have before you the October 28th, 2025 fiscal court minutes. After a period of review, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any clarifications, corrections, additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have a good long list of items to cover today, but we'll start with our probably favorite one, and that is our Judges Scholar for this week. And I'd like to ask Ms. Hannah Grove from East Heights Elementary School to join me at the podium.
Hey, Tim. Get that. Tim.
Nick's get it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Whereas Hannah Grove has been chosen by East Heights Elementary School to be the recipient of the Judges Scholar Award for exceptional efforts in both academics and school activities, and whereas Hannah's hard work and dedication in making the most of educational experiences and developing positive relationships with teachers and other students will lead to future success, and whereas success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring the winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement. And whereas the Henderson County school system could not let Hannah's efforts go unnoticed, and whereas Henderson County Fiscal Court supports the school system and acknowledges these accomplishments as being significant because students such as Hannah will be our future leaders. And now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim November 25th, 2025 as Hannah Grove Day.
We gotta get used to the paparazzi.
Yeah, we will. Let's get there first.
Okay.
Great. So someone want to take one for me?
Thank you, Nick.
All right, congratulations, Hannah. That is Steve Gold. He's going to be giving you some play-by-play when we go through today's list. Glad you're with us. I know your parents are proud. School's very proud. And it's a great day, Hannah Grove Day. So thank you. Earlier this morning, the Surface Mine Committee met and had a recommendation to release the bonds for two increments. One is for increment 6 on permit number 8510054, and the other is for increment 6 on permit 8510054 and increment 1 on 8510054. 0057. These are now basically just either farm parcels or drainage ditch, as we understood. So we'll need a motion to approve those releases.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We have with us a group who'd like to talk to us about a potential new ordinance text change, and I'll ask representatives of the groups who'd like to speak to come on up. Hi, if you don't mind just introducing yourselves to me.
Yes, my name is Abby Dixon, and I'm the Executive Director of the Henderson Tourist Commission. And I have some friends with me today. Let them introduce themselves.
I'm Missy Vanderpool with Henderson Economic Development.
And Clay Gillum, Executive Director of Henderson Chamber.
Well, thank you all so much for allowing us to be here with you this morning. Again, I'm Abby Dixon. I'm the Executive Director of the Henderson Tourist Commission. And as you all know from previous times that I've been here with you, our destination as a tourism hotspot is evolving. To quote the judge, who often reminds us, great things are happening in Henderson County. And we see that happening in our tourism economy too. What is also evolving is the way that people travel. So we know that travelers today are actively seeking out those experiences that feel authentic to the place where they're visiting. And for a place like Henderson County, one that is so deeply rooted in agriculture and hospitality, there's no more natural extension of who we are as a destination than by inviting guests to come and spend time on the land that has shaped our county for generations. So across Kentucky and throughout the country, really, we see that farm stays and agritourism lodging have become such an important part of tourism in rural communities like ours. They allow visitors to participate in the activities of the farm, to connect with the people who make the region so special, to walk the land, to enjoy those delicious farm-to-table meals, learn about the crops, learn about sustainable agriculture, etc. And I think whenever these things are done thoughtfully, an agritourism experience in a farm stay really honors our heritage very well. Currently, what we're seeing is there is some gray area in our local ordinances regarding farm stays. And as you all know, updating our ordinances to reflect the language in the KRS is just a best practice. So as tourism trends evolve, our local regulations should also evolve so that Henderson County is positioned to benefit from the opportunities while still protecting the integrity of our rural spaces. Farmer and Frenchman's plans have obviously brought this conversation forward. There's no doubt about that. But it's important to emphasize that an update to our local ordinances regarding farm stays, it's not just for one business. It's about any current or future agritourism operations who may also want to offer lodging experiences consistent, of course, with the state law. Updating this language would create clarity, fairness, and what I think is really important to all of us, a predictable path forward for anyone else who wants to operate responsibly within the statute. Finally, I want to make sure that I underscore the fact that our local economy, and you all, I love to talk about the impact tourism has on our local economy. It's a $91 million industry. It makes life better for all of us in Henderson County. We have a very real need, and we all see it, to expand our lodging capacity. I know that farm stays are not the only answer to that, and we're hard at work to attract additional lodging facilities too. But I do think that a farm stay and expanding them in our county is a really important part of a diversified lodging portfolio that, frankly, we desperately need, especially for rural counties like ours. So it's our request that Fiscal Court moves forward with reviewing our current language. I think that will do a few things for us. One, it will align us with KRS. It will support agritourism attraction owners, those who are already existing or those who may have dreams of building an agritourism business here in Henderson County and wish to showcase that warm hospitality that we're known for to visitors. We can welcome new lodging options that benefit our entire visitor economy. This is money coming into our community, again, that makes life better for all of us. And we can ensure that Henderson County stays competitive in what is definitely a very rapidly changing tourism landscape. So with that, I thank you for your time and your thoughtful consideration. And if there are any questions for any of us up here, we're happy to answer them.
Anybody have any questions? Any thoughts? Mr. Gold, any comments? I guess what we need to do then is entertain a motion then to take this under consideration, perhaps work with Mr. Gold to develop language that we might refer this to the Planning Commission to review, have a public hearing, and then potentially send back to us their recommendation on any kind of change we might make or tweak we might make.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion, any other questions?
Just what I would say is it would appear to me that the conditional use under the ag zone, under the definition of agritourism might be where this would go, but I just want to make everybody aware there'll be a cascading effect throughout other parts of the ordinance. So it might be a somewhat involved ordinance, even though it might be a simple thing, just because there's it's one of those things where you tweak something over here, it affects things over there. But that should be an appropriate place for it as far as the conditional uses under the ag district, which would be Article 22.
Yeah.
So one of the things I heard Abby say was to get us aligned with the KRS. So the way I would interpret that is we're not in line with the KRS?
That is not correct.
Okay.
But it is certainly within the power of the fiscal court to change any definitions we have in our ordinance.
Any other questions, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have
Hey,
a next
wait,
update.
Before we move on, I'm sorry, I was trying to get my thoughts together. So we will have the chance to review after the fiscal, or excuse me, the planning commission, after any changes are made, it'll come back to us, correct?
Right.
So the way that process will work is with any text amendment, it's KRS 100.211. The fiscal court can generate the text amendment, which is, I assume, what the goal would be to do at the next fiscal court meeting or whenever we can get this drafted. Then the fiscal court would vote whether or not to send that particular draft language to the Planning Commission for a public hearing. Then the Planning Commission would have a public hearing on that, take testimony on it, potentially mark it up, change it, suggest amendments, and then send it back to the fiscal court for final approval one way or
So
another.
we will have the
just like
opportunity
any
to
of these
see
things we
whatever
send
it
to the
changes.
Yeah.
In addition to that,
Yeah,
correct?
just like any of these things we send to the
I
Planning
just wanted
Commission.
to make sure that I understood that.
It comes
Okay.
back here, and then at that point, the fiscal court will have the option to, several options, could adopt the recommendation of the Planning Commission, could reject it and send it back for further hearings on particular issues. There's all of those
Sure.
options that would still be available to fiscal court.
Just want to make sure. Thank
So
you.
it will all have to go back through or it will have to go public hearing
Yeah.
through the Planning Commission?
Per KRS 100.211, any text amendment has to have a public hearing at the Planning Commission, whether the text amendment is generated at the fiscal court level or at the Planning Commission level. They can, suggest their own edits to it, but typically what they do is they suggest to the fiscal court that we suggest it to them, which is a little weird, but that's the way they've been operating lately.
Gotcha.
Okay. Next item is an update on the work of the Henderson County Water District and Mark Julian. Mind introducing your colleague too?
Yes, thank you. This is Cody Kirby. He is Caldwell County's Water District General Manager, and he is our project manager for our water loss mitigation project. Have him with me this morning and want to introduce him, and he and I are going to talk about our monthly update.
Okay. Welcome, by the way. Glad you're here.
We have some better metrics to report this morning. Our water loss for October's reporting period was 22%. Cody has designed some leak detection and leak find, fix, and verify spreadsheets for staff to use. This will help improve staff efficiency and district reporting. The contractors fixed all assigned leaks, and we are actually doing some more leak detection and flushing this week before the Thanksgiving holiday. Cody here will be working with our partners at Kentucky Rural Water. We have a slide later on in the presentation about the government shutdown and how that affected their ability to travel. Now that that has been resolved, hopefully they'll be able to get back on the road soon. And that's important because whenever rural water is going to come down here, we've got some flow metering that we're going to do, and that's kind of been hindered by that shutdown. We're also considering purchasing or going for board authorization to purchase another leak detector. That way we'll have another one for our staff to use. These are the acoustic leak detectors. You see them out there sounding the meters, valves, and hydrants. And our board meeting is tomorrow. This is just what I said before about the government shutdown, how they weren't able to travel and that delay. Hydro excavation. So when we find a leak and after we verified it that it's on us, it's on the water district, it's on our side of the meter, one thing we have to do before we dig to fix is we got to call in 811 locates, before you dig. Everybody should be aware of that. We've got a hydro excavation unit that Cody has lined up for the district to use at no cost.
What is that, hydro excavation?
So it's basically if you have like a pressure wand at a car wash, you've got let's say somebody makes an outline with orange paint or white paint and says, look, this is where we want to excavate. They'll actually use that pressure wand and clean water, and they'll have a big suction tube, usually on a back truck or a trailer mounted apparatus, and it'll actually basically turn that to a slurry and vacuum it up. And then you usually want to do that whenever you have things that are in proximity that you don't want to hit, such as gas mains.
It's a little bit gentler on the excavation.
It is, and it's actually exempt from 811 locates.
Speed your time up very, very, very quick.
We actually had opportunity to use one recently, and we got our main exposed in 15 minutes. So it's all around better. It's just these things cost money.
Gotcha.
And the last part on this slide was one of our tank sites may require multiple meters, and this is so that we can get a good idea of what's leaving the tank from both sides, up and downstream. Using equipment like this is going to really help keep this positive momentum that we've got with this project going.
There's a few, in a situation like this tank site that he's talking about, there's a cluster of valves, and past time, there's no maps readily available to fully understand exactly what they're doing. So in a situation like this, instead of having to dig all of this up, we can hydro this, figure out exactly what's coming upstream, downstream, use flow meters to verify that without excavation damaging anything, service interruption, and then therefore we can plan forward mode.
You all know, as I spoke before, we divided the whole system, our service area, into 5 zones. So DMAs are district metering areas. Is that right, Cody? So this plan is still in its previous state, as it takes a lot of time to plan. But we're going to be working with Cody and Rural Water and engineers for design placement for these zone and subzone meters. It just takes a lot of time to get it in the ground and get it working. But we're working as quickly as we can so we can deliver the progress that we all want to hear. We've also got some pricing for some of the zone meters and the other fittings that are going to be required to accomplish this. These meters are instrumental to water loss and leak detection. It'll track water flow in the system. And these zone meters can be put in by district staff or the contractor. No other company or funding would be required. We want to install approximately 10 of these. This will include the flow meters at the tanks like we were talking about. The new meters, we've got 1,100 on site. We've actually got some storage delivered this morning so that we can make sure that we've got these. We had our project kickoff meeting on the 18th last week. The exact start date is still pending due to that contractor finishing up another job in Western Kentucky, but tentatively scheduled to start around the first of the year. And they have a team of 3 installers. They're going to work to get these 1,108 meters that we've got installed, and they're going to be putting them in Reed and Spotsville. The plan is to take this initial purchase and install those meters in those meter reading routes in books 10, 11, unless reports indicated different direction. Mapping and GIS updates. So Cody's going to host a GIS training in December for our staff and to talk about how we're going to use the mapping platform. We're already using this, but we want to bring this new staff that we've hired and get them up to speed. We actually did a refresher training for our mapping Friday, and staff was given the opportunity to ask questions and gain some familiarity so that when they're out there and they've got a work order and they're out in the system, they can update those meter locations. If they happen to find a valve, they can get it on the map. And that's critical for us because if we know where these are and we've got this mapping up to date, it's going to help us be more efficient. We have service interruptions and main breaks. We're considering trying to go for board approval to get one more GPS transceiver so that we'll make more progress on mapping, and GIS work has been continuing. The master and purchase meters, these are the meters that measure how much water we're buying from HWU, and also our customer meters. We have testing that's scheduled so that we can meet our compliance requirements. We're going to do that in December with Cody here. The district has to make some repairs to a few locations before they can be tested. We're working to replace the endpoints on these meters. Basically, that's how the data gets into a platform where we can view it. And instead of having several different platforms, we want to use our existing Neptune 360. That's the software that's going to use, we're going to platform to use the AMI data, the meter data for these new meters. That way we'll have everything in one place.
Moving forward with that, one really neat aspect of those, putting everything in one platform, which also kind of coincides with the area where they're going to focus their initial 1,100 meter change outs. What that essentially is going to do is that's going to provide the district, like every day, you have this one snapshot where you can see what your purchase meter from the city is versus all of your residentials in the click of a button. And then that way it's a quick identifier of any water loss potential, to go towards that zone. And then it's stair steps, utilizing the mapping, utilizing everything else for, quick and precise water loss fees.
Versus in the past where a leak may have run weeks or months before we would have been able to locate it. This will let us hone in on an area and we can deploy that leak detection in that area so we can find and fix the leak. And 2 of our 6 active purchase points with HWU, we're going to be replacing those hopefully by the end of the year. That's 41 and south. Leak detection, our contractor's out there doing it. We've got a staff member off, but the leak detection is still continuing with our contractor. And then we're providing regular training to keep them on task so that we can keep the process going. Just quick staffing updates, then I'll get into the metrics for the month. Out of our 8 that we requested, we've got 6, 2 meter readers, 2 field techs, 1 GIS mapping tech, and 1 leak detection tech. Of course, we've got Cody here, and we're trying to possibly bring on another staff member so that we can accomplish more leak detection and maybe 1 more mapping tech. And then training and continuing education for several staff members is upcoming. This is just our big changes last week with our stuff at the office. It's just a new billing software. We've made some IT changes. It's not really important for the project, but I just wanted to update you on what we're doing. So these are the leaks that were fixed in October. The leak count, repair count is down for this month. We got 16 versus 28 last month. We are seeing that a lot of these are service lines. A lot of service line leaks in the area is indicative that the main needs to be replaced, so we're in the process of trying to put a project profile together so that when we get done with this project, we are after the funding now. We're trying to be proactive. You know, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail sort of thing. So we'll have a project profile in, and we're going after funding now so that when this project is completed and we've completed the goals of this project, we can step into the next big project, which we're going to see funding on our own. And we are planning on replacing hundreds of thousands of linear feet of old mains in the county and renewing those services. When I say renewing those services, if a service line going to a customer's meter is leaking, it's our standard practice to not just put a repair clamp on it, because that's going to mean it's going to leak again. We just renew that whole service, and that helps us with our water loss. It provides the best value and longevity for the service lines to our customers. This is October's water loss report to the Public Service Commission, and you'll see on the report that I've got a screenshot on the right. That's 39 million gallons we purchased from HW through the month. We sold, I'm getting to where I need glasses, gents and ladies. 29 million under water sales?
29, yes.
29 million. So if you look at the graphic on the left side of this slide, you're going to see the bar graph. That's the purchased water for the month for the last rolling 12 months. The line graph is the water we sold during that month. And what we're seeing is we're seeing that gap close. This project kicked off at the end of May or beginning of June in 25. And that month we had 46 million purchased and about 29 million sold. And you see that gap is closing. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see us bring those numbers in line.
Mark, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So I see that the water sold is going up as well. Is that because we're correcting some meters and correcting the free water we were given?
In the summer months, we expect to see more water being sold because more people are, watering lawns, and washing cars, and things like that.
Right.
We tend to see that decrease as the weather gets colder, like it is now. But what the main thing I wanted to highlight is we're bringing that gap. We're closing that gap between what we're selling and what we're purchasing. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that be as little as possible. As I've said before, we're always going to have leaks in a distribution system, but to really get a handle on it, that's a good indicator that we're making good progress. So yes, water purchase from HW decreased during the month of October. What we also sold to our customers decreased as the weather's changing and consumer habits are changing. We've got a purchase meter that needs to be replaced, 2 of them actually, and then we're planning on getting that taken care of in the month of December. But anyway, water loss is at 22%, and that is a big difference between the 40 and 50% we were seeing.
Remind me where we were when we started this project. 50%, almost 50%.
Yeah, we were 50%. Yeah. We were buying double the water that we were selling to our customers. So the goals of this project were to replace 1/3 of the meters in the system. Assuming the next round of funding will come after the first of the year, with that next order of about 900 meters will put us about 1/3 of the meters in the system, about 2,000 meters. And then those follow-up projects that I was talking about after this project is completed, we'll be replacing all those mains, renewing all those services countywide, and replacing the other 2/3 of the meters. So it's going to be a big project.
So what ideally will be the sold to bought percentage in a normal operating status after we've got this, what we consider fixed?
We want to be below 15% because it's a regulatory threshold.
Right.
And let me clarify that. That's one thing that it's really hard to wrap your head around. So 15%, and this is under Public Service Commission, 15% is their goal for rate-making purposes, non-reoccurring charging purposes, etc. 15% is almost an unachievable number in half the state of Kentucky. And you can ask any water system in the world about that. For example, at Caldwell County, for us to be at 15%, we can only lose 28 gallons a minute countywide. That's all of about four little small service leaks countywide takes us out of compliance. So you look at Henderson County, and as far as customer size, not quite triple, but almost triple. You know, you're still looking at less than 100 gallons a minute countywide. You could have a cracked bell in a creek. You know, you could have 4 or 5 service leaks that aren't coming to the top of the ground that the customer don't even know that they've not experienced a pressure problem. You're at your 15%, and you have no idea. You know, so that's why trying to have accurate metering, getting these zone meters put in, and have calculations to know what I was talking about, like with these areas and your actual purchase meters, getting those as honed in as absolute possible, so he can go out and find these, 3, 4, 5 gallon minute leaks that add up over time. But 15%, he is correct. That's where he wants to be and be under, and we're getting very close to it. Holding on to that it's not as easy as it seems.
Every time we fix leaks, we add PSI back into the system, which anything that is leaking a little bit, probably going to leak a little bit more. So it's an arduous and recurring process.
But if you don't have a number to measure it by, you still, so that's why I asked the question.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah. The highlights for the month, water loss is still improving. That last slide I talked about, we still have a long way to go. The district staff and the contractor are continuing to perform the leak detection. We've got that big meter order. We've already had that project kickoff meeting. We've met with the guys. This is what they do. We feel like we've got a really good team with that contractor. We tentatively plan on starting after the first of the year. We'll replace that 1,108 meters in 60 East area. And then if the funding cycle goes through, we'll order the other 900 meters, and the same contractor will get them in the same price. And then just a little sidebar, our hydrant repair and replacement has been going well. We didn't want to schedule anything during the Thanksgiving week, so we've got 2 that we're going to do next week after the holiday. We've got 4 left to get done, and I'm confident that we will get it done before the deadline. And once we've got our purchase meter testing complete, Cody here will reevaluate our necessary areas for water loss for leak detection. Does anyone have any questions?
How many hydrants have you put in?
Since the start?
Replaced? Yeah, not replaced. How many new hydrants have you put in?
I think we've put in about 4. Most of them have been repaired. Like if we've got one that's not completely bad,
right,
we try to just basically go through and rebuild it. Some of them are in areas where you can't put a new hydrant because of state regs.
Right.
Most of them have been repaired, but we are putting new. We still got to do one for Baskets Volunteer Fire Department 60, so it's going to be a hot tab, and we're going to try to get that done.
And I'd also just like to compliment Mark and his team, the contractors, everybody. There's been a couple of situations where the finished product wasn't to the satisfaction of the homeowner, and they jumped right in without any questions. I mean, Mark was even out of the office, and so his stand-in, we worked together and got that squared away. And the homeowner, I sent that to you, and I called Mark the other day just to compliment. They're running a very tight ship here, especially under Mark's leadership. We've done much better. It's been much more responsive. So I just wanted to compliment that and put that on record.
Good to hear.
I was just going to ask real quick, where do we stand money-wise? Do you still have enough funds from what we've already budgeted and committed to this project, or how we stand, maybe with a percentage of how much has been spent?
Funding-wise, I know that after this large meter order, we were below 50% of the initial disbursement. I don't have that with me, but I do every month. Like I give y'all a reconciliation of what's in the account, what's been spent. But I know that we're below the 50% mark of. But I have budgeted where I think that we should be okay for the next funding cycle. We should know.
Okay.
And as a reminder, our initial agreement mentions that in January we'll be considering whether to go ahead and give the other 1.5 out of the $3 million that we promised if we were satisfied with the progress. And hovering at 22% at the moment is a lot of progress, so it's good to see. So we'll be talking about that in January. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Welcome
you.
aboard. Thanks for your
guys.
help.
Thank y'all.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Appreciate it. Good luck. Gentlemen, we have a reappointment to the Human Rights Commission. Rhonda Thompson has served, and her current term is up, but she wanted to be reappointed, and Reverend Johnson fully supports that. So I'd like to reappoint Rhonda Thompson to the Human Rights Commission, and I'll need a motion and a second and a vote.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we'll have County Engineer Nick Stallings come up, talk to us about annual bids, and also we're going to discuss Reed Bluff City Road.
All right, it's that time of year, fellas. Ask for bids and for all of our materials we're going to use next year. So I'm looking for rock, typically what we use rock. We use fuel, culverts are our main three items. We use concrete. We actually used concrete yesterday to repair a bridge. So those are typical yearly calendar year items that we like to get bids for.
So we need a motion to allow Nick to go out and bid for those items.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right, second piece of information is Reed Bluff City. That's the road, a little over 3 miles. It actually was 4.094 miles. A couple of the business owners or the property owners came in to my office. It's been maybe 2 or 3 months ago, wanting to put a gate up back there. The back almost half a mile. They want to go back there and put a gate up. That way they can stop a lot of illicit activities happening back there and illegal dumps and what have you. So we went through the process. I came to court, asked you all for me to go through the process. I had 3 road reviewers. We went out there. We all 3 checked out the road, looked at it, saw that it did not meet the requirements of a county road. So with this, we did put up flyers and information, 3 locations within a mile of the area we're wanting to close by KRS. That was up for 30 days. We had no call-ins from the office, and from what I hear, y'all had no call-ins here at the court. So nobody opposed the removal of the final 0.37 miles of this road off the county maintenance. So what that means is we will no longer maintain that. They can put a gate up, and at that point in time, keys can be passed out through the property owners and keep a lot of illicit activities from happening back there. So in this is the road review. I got all the signatures of the.
And it was unanimous?
And all three that was, I included were, looked, and again, there's no place to turn around. There's, the asphalt ends right at that location where they were wanting to put a gate up. It becomes rock. The rock area's got grass growing through it. It goes back to to the Green River. You really had no place to turn around, even if we, so it was a perfect candidate to go ahead and remove from our list.
Remind me of the name of the reviewers.
Reviewers were me being one, Bill Hubiak, and Teresa Skaggs.
Thank you.
So we need to get a vote on the viewer's recommendation before we do the,
We have a unanimous recommendation to close this portion of Reed Bluff City. So we need a motion to accept the reviewer's submission here.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion about that?
So all the landowners are in favor of.
Yes.
Nick, the statute KRS 178.070 speaks about inconvenience to the public. This was not a through road.
It stops at, the Green River.
It was not an access point used by the public to the Green River.
There is no boat docks. There's nothing. It actually stops and then it goes maybe another 50 yards of just trees and property to the Green River.
So to your knowledge, would there be any public inconvenience at all regarding the discontinuance of this portion of the road?
Maybe where the list activity happens. May have to find
Only to people up to no good, right?
Yeah, may have to find a new spot. They're like, man, no, they got to move. But, you know, in an area out there, the farmers kind of took it on their own to kind of put up a makeshift gate already, you know, which was actually found while we were doing our road review. So it's open right now, but once y'all approve this, and we'll go ahead and say, continue.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we have a resolution to this effect. I'd like the clerk to read the resolution.
Resolution approving a portion of Reed Bluff City, CR 1027, be discontinued from county maintenance and removed from the county road system. Whereas the Henderson County Engineer, Nick Stallings, recommends that the Fiscal Court of Henderson County discontinue a portion of Reed Bluff City Road and remove that portion from the Henderson County road system. And whereas Reed Bluff City Road local property owner stated that the road served no public purpose past the currently asphalted portion and petition the county to discontinue the road past this point. And whereas the county engineer properly advertised and posted the road to be discontinued per KRS 178.070, and the fiscal court assigned 2 viewers to make their recommendation to the court. Whereas per KRS 178.070, the viewers and the county engineer viewed the road and have reported in writing that the discontinuance of the road past the asphalted portion would not create any public inconvenience. Whereas it is the county engineer and viewers' recommendation that the road services no public purpose past the currently asphalted portion, and the road should be discontinued from the county maintenance at a point 3.724 miles from its starting point at US 60. Now, therefore, it be resolved by the County of Henderson, Kentucky, that the recommendation of the county engineer is accepted, and Reed Bluff City Road, CR 1027, will be discontinued from county maintenance at a point 3.724 miles from where the road begins at US 60. The closed portion will be removed from the Henderson County road system, and all signage and mapping will be updated to reflect the change of length to 3.724 miles.
Get a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks.
Next, we have our friends from the Beacon of West Kentucky who are here to make a presentation for us about a program that could definitely fit our opioid funding funds that we have been eagerly awaiting good programs to spend on. So I'm going to turn it over. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Malia Rahman, and my partner Donna Bumpus is here, and together we make up the Beacon of West Kentucky. We are a nonprofit. Oh, did you have something to say?
Go ahead.
We are a nonprofit that was formed in March of 2024, and it is our goal to work within the law enforcement, social services, education system to fill in gaps and create programs to support our kids in our community that have issues with substance misuse. We currently have a position in Webster County called the District Court Advocate that we are funding with our county opioid abatement funds. And the purpose of this position is to support individuals who have come to the attention of district court for substance misuse charges. The advocate meets with the person who has been charged and their family to try to assess and see if there are any unmet needs that the family is having that is possibly contributing to the substance misuse, and then works together with the individual and their family to remedy those situations. We have this program currently going in Webster County. We made a presentation to our fiscal court earlier this year and were approved a contract to hire someone that began in July, and she is very busy already in the very short time that she has been working. This position is not clinical in nature. There would be no therapy provided. It's more of a case management type of position where the person would link the individual and their family to resources already in your community to meet those unmet needs that the family or individual may be having. It is our goal that, which is listed, I'm sorry, I should have started with that. You have a blue folder that has our actual proposal written out. But it is our goal to reduce reoffending within the county and to just better the lives of citizens within the county by providing things for them that they may not already have.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about this, if I can. One of the reasons I've reached out to Malia was I was doing a special prosecution case down in Webster County, and the county attorney down there was singing the praises of this position and what's happening and the good that it's doing down there. And it's something that the more we talked, the more I thought, why on earth don't we have something like this? And I think you all have heard me recommend to some local nonprofits that they look at coming up with a model like this, and they didn't. So we reached out to the people that already know how to do this, and fortunately they were willing to come to Henderson to do this. The reason that you'll see it referred to in the proposals as a district court advocate. The district court is where misdemeanors are prosecuted and most felonies start. So we've got all misdemeanors and most felonies there in district court. We also have juvenile court, Casey's Law, which is involuntary treatment, mental health issues. A lot of those things come into the district court. The resources, and understandably so, typically get focused on the circuit court. That's where they have the drug court resources, things like that. A lot of funding gets pumped into that, but that's where people have already kind of been down in the hole pretty far, so to speak. The lack of resources in the misdemeanor courts and the district court, unfortunately, sometimes is what leads somebody to end up in that circuit court. So this model of trying to intervene earlier, get in at the district court level, do that case management. Case management, there's accountability with that and follow-up. In district court, we very often will refer people to treatment, but the court has somewhat limited resources and ability to kind of follow up and make sure that somebody's actually doing that treatment, or that it's being done in a meaningful way. And sometimes there's something besides treatment. They have co-occurring things, what they call a dual diagnosis, where it's a mental health issue that someone is using opioids to treat or drugs to treat, or vice versa. Sometimes the drugs have created the mental health issue. So this sort of case management and being able to refer people to those resources they need is really important. So much of what we see in district court, the root cause of it is drugs, particularly opioids. So many of the thefts, so much of the domestic violence, the assaults, all of those things, really, when you strip it away at the root cause, so much of it is substance abuse. And I really think that this is something that could have a major impact on our community, and I thank you all for being willing to come up here into Henderson.
So, question that I have, is this something that I can see the value of this service if the offender or the clientele, however you want to phrase it, participates? Is that something that's going to be court ordered to where there's some teeth in this to where they have to participate, or there's
Yes.
harsher punishments?
Yes, it can be done, and per the opioid settlement funds, it can be done on a pretrial basis,
Right.
or as referral afterwards. So Typically, if it's pretrial, somebody is on a bond. And a judge can say, I'm going to make it a condition of your bond that you do X, Y, and
Yes,
Z.
sir. Okay.
It also can be a condition of probation. You know, okay, you're going to be leaving the jail, but you're going to go directly here and you're going to do X, Y, and Z. And we're going to have that case management and follow up. And it's not just about getting to treatment. It's as Malia talked about, there's all these other things. The transition from jail to, back out in the community sometimes is tough for some people, and that's what gets them back into drugs. So kind of being able to look at it in a bit of a holistic way that they are, and doing that follow-up is a very important thing. And that's frankly what's missing in the district court. Unfortunately, the follow-up that happens is very often done by the police department or the jail, because that's how they turn back up and get back into that system. And hopefully, this can be something that can be an off-ramp.
I agree. It just my point was, it just kind of prevents them from talking themselves out of it, saying, oh, I'm not going to make it no matter what. It allows them to be successful by maybe initially forcing them to head down that road.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one of the things in did you get a blue folder?
Yes.
So the report card, we didn't get a grade. Would have been nice if I'd like to see where we're at.
It's right.
I think it's in the narrative part.
Okay.
It's in the first page, yeah.
All right. I skipped the first page. That's what. One of the things will this fund, so if somebody gets put in that, they won't be charged correctly, correct?
This
not
is
sure I
charged a fee. Charged a fee.
Correct.
Yeah.
The person that leaves jail, will they be charged a fee?
No, all of the services that the contracted position would provide would be free of charge.
Okay.
We are asking for county opioid abatement funds to fund the position.
Okay. I was just thinking, we put a fee on them, it's just another.
Oh, yes, absolutely not. We're a nonprofit. We don't charge any fees for any of our services.
Okay.
And that ends up being a major barrier to a lot of folks particularly as they're transitioning out of jail.
Yes.
So anytime we can, not have that sort of fee, and because again, particularly with people that are dealing with substance abuse disorder, what they're looking at is stressors put them back to using a lot of times. And so nickel and diming, with stressors like that is probably not productive to do. So,
Malia, when I look at the statement of need, am I looking at that figure, the cost for 2025 was $45,996,651? Is that was a projection? Or is that the actual cost? Because it says it breaks down to $1,022 per resident.
Based on the current data, which this report was completed at the beginning of November, that was current as of that day.
And that includes the criminal justice system, direct cost to victims, and loss of economic contributions from offenders.
Yes, as well as any treatment costs that have been incurred, whether it was successful or not.
All I can say is, wow. I mean, that's incredible numbers. I mean.
Well, and one of the things that we think is so important about a program like this is that we're not only helping the person who is experiencing this. We want to make contact with others in the home, children, to help them deal with any of the fallout from this occurring. So we really want this to be prevention at the most basic level, and it's not going to just be drug prevention. We're hoping this will affect abuse and neglect numbers, help with truancy, because as we can deal with issues in the home, that will, like Mr. Gold said, be a more holistic approach.
Well, it just seems like I had no idea there would be a number like that associated with drug abuse in Henderson County.
Yes.
I mean, that's a huge number.
It is.
Well, it really costs the community as a whole, obviously.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So speaking of money, the budgetary ask is on that last page, page 4. $91,250 for 18 months of this program,
Correct.
as well as some help with a desk and some other office, email address, phone, et cetera.
Yes.
We have it, obviously, in opioid funds, and which will continue to come in over the years for quite some time. I think what needs to happen next, if we all agree that this is worth pursuing, is we develop a memorandum of agreement, correct, Mr. Gold, and then...
And that is in their packets.
Yeah. If you feel comfortable enough to go ahead and approve the program, we can. Any other objection to that? Any more legal work to do before we do that? Good to go?
If you all agree to the draft?
We do.
Okay. And it's up to the fiscal court.
Well, I'll make the motion that we move forward.
We have a resolution.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So hold that thought.
Yep.
Resolution approving memorandum of understanding between Henderson County Fiscal Court and the Beacon of West Kentucky, Inc., and authorizing the county judge executive to execute all necessary documents. Whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court has received funding from the National Opioid Settlement to be used to combat the opioid crisis in Henderson County, and whereas pursuant to KRS 15.2915B2B, the use of these funds to provide funding for projects which supports referral to detoxification services is an appropriate expenditure of these funds. And whereas pursuant to KRS 15.2915B16, the use of these funds to engage nonprofits, the faith community, and community coalitions to support prevention and treatment and to support family members in their efforts to care for opioid users in their family is an appropriate expenditure of these funds. And whereas pursuant to KRS 15.2915B25, the use of these funds to provide funding to support pretrial services that connect individuals with opioid use disorder and any co-occurring substance use disorder, mental health issues to evidence-informed treatment and related services is an appropriate expenditure of these funds. And whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court has identified a need for additional resources for the above references services in misdemeanor criminal cases in Henderson County, and whereas the Beacon of West Kentucky, Inc., Beacon, has been in existence and provided services to individuals struggling with addiction and to their families since 2024, with staff having over 30 years of experience in the field, and whereas Beacon proposed a project that will help fight the opioid epidemic by creating a Henderson County District Court advocate to provide the above referenced services and case management thereof, which is substantially similar to the project Beacon is administering in Webster County. And whereas Henderson County wishes to fund the implementation of the Henderson County District Court advocate in the amount of $91,250 for a program period of 18 months, and whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court wishes to support Beacon's Henderson County District Court advocate using funds received from the National Opioid Settlement, and the parties desire to memorialize their agreement as outlined in the attached memorandum of understanding and comply with both state law and regulations upon how the opioid settlement funds may be spent. Now therefore be it resolved by the Henderson County Fiscal Court as follows. Number one, that the attached memorandum of understanding, the MOU, between the Henderson County Fiscal Court and the Beacon of West Kentucky, Inc. is hereby approved. Number two, the county judge executive is hereby directed to execute the agreement on behalf of the Henderson Fiscal Court and is further directed to execute any and all necessary and appropriate documents required to effectuate the intent thereof. Number three, the Henderson County Treasurer is hereby directed to provide monthly installments for the funding of Beacon's Henderson County District Court Advocate Program in the amount of $91,250 from Henderson County's National Opioid Settlement Funds in compliance with the attached memorandum of understanding, KRS 15.2915B22, and all other applicable law.
So now can we get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second. Thank you.
Judge, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
I know Magistrate Starks and you, Judge, can kind of verify what I'm saying. Mental health is such a big issue throughout Kentucky, just not Henderson County. And this kind of addresses some of the mental health issues that we have here. So I think it's kind of twofold in a way. So.
Certainly, addiction is related to mental health issues, or either cause or related to, so certainly true. Any other discussion, any questions? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Leah.
Okay. We are going to table the Deaconess equipment resolution for now. We still have a couple items to work out on the contract there, so we'll be bringing that back on the 9th of December, our next meeting. Gentlemen, if you remember, as we were discussing our renewal for health insurance, one of the services we were thinking about adding was a program in which our employees who participate in our health care plan can have access without further cost to them to Deaconess clinics in the region, a list of about 12 Deaconess clinics that are eligible, and they can show up with their families and get care for a rather lengthy list of various things, again, at no extra cost to them. It would be a cost to us, but it was, I think, a program designed to encourage people to get care before their problems get too acute and cost us even more money. So we priced it, again, I think if you remember at the last meeting when we talked about this, we were going to assume or assure that there wasn't a competitor out there that had a better price than what Deaconess has provided. DJ Story from Hub got a quote from, I believe, Owensboro Health? Ascension, which was well over $80,000. So this is probably the most convenient and the most cost-effective plan. And I think we all agreed it will be a great tool, great benefit for our people, and hopefully keep them even healthier. So any questions about that?
Judge, was cost of prescriptions included, whatever that list is that they have in that fee as well?
It is.
If
If they go to the clinic and they can receive prescriptions there at the clinic, and it's a lot of generic meds, but they are included. They don't. Yeah, there's no cost.
I just want to make sure I remembered that. Thank you.
And I think there was testing included in that too, which is, like the judge says, very important to make sure we stay on top of our health, and especially with all the issues with healthcare today in our country. I think this is another great way to just provide a real benefit for our employees. So
ease of use and convenient option.
And to clarify, I know the question before was, did we have to bid this out? And that's been resolved because this is a professional service contract, which.
Correct.
But even at that, we wanted to check around and make sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're confident we got the best deal with the most service and on the right side of KRS when it comes to bidding out services we get. So we have a resolution. If you'd like to read it, any other questions about this? I had a chance to read through. Hopefully this will come online first of the year.
It's going to start January 1.
And we will be communicating with all of our people who are in the health plan about how to use this. Get them used to it. So with that,
that's what we really need to do is communicate, make sure they use it, because even on a wellness visit, if you ask the wrong question on a wellness visit, you get a bill. This is going to take care of that. You can go do your wellness. You can go to this and keep money in your pocket. It's going to be really beneficial to our
we think so.
employees.
I'll take care of communicating it.
Thank you.
We'll read the resolution.
Okay. A resolution authorizing county judge executive to execute contracts related to the employee health and support services with Deaconess Clinic, Inc. Whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court provides various health insurance benefits to its employees through a self-funded insurance plan. Whereas Hub International Mid-South is the current health insurance broker that provides health insurance benefits advisory services to the county, including review of all insurance contracts and forms, making recommendations, coordinating enrollments, preparing annual requests for proposals upon request, and providing other health insurance consultation services. And whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court, in consultation with Hub International Mid-South, deems it in the best interest of Henderson County to enter into an agreement with Deaconess Clinic, Inc. to be the provider for employee health and support. Now therefore be it resolved by the Fiscal Court, County of Henderson, Kentucky as follows. Number one, the Henderson County Fiscal Court hereby adopts the recommendation of Hub International Mid-South to accept the proposal Deaconess Clinic, Inc. Health Services and Support Services under the terms which were previously presented in Fiscal Court and which are attached hereto and incorporated herein. Number two, the Henderson County Fiscal Court hereby authorizes and directs County Judge Executive Brad Snyder to execute any and all necessary contracts, applications, or agreements necessary to obtain the services and coverage anticipated by the resolution, subject to legal review.
Get a motion approved?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next item is our annual agreement with the City County Rescue Squad and our affiliation with them. And Kenny Garrett, our EMA director, is here. Anything you'd like to add to the discussion? It is something we have to do every year, and they do a good job of assisting our volunteer fire departments and many other functions they perform. So if you are familiar with this, I'd ask your permission to go ahead and just read the summary at the top of this, if you don't mind.
Summary's good.
Anybody have a problem?
Please.
Resolution authorizing County Judge Executive to execute Henderson City County Rescue Squad affiliation agreement.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item is an ordinance reaffirming, reestablishing our cable franchise agreement as per federal communications law dictates. And I'd like to ask Deputy Judge Kurt Wiesen to come up and give a little bit of context in this.
All right, Mr. Gold, please correct me if I'm mistaken anything.
That's dangerous.
Yes. We had, long time ago in our ordinances, we had cable franchise agreements when we had a number of different cable companies in the area here. And at that time, we were receiving money back from the cable companies. The state of Kentucky changed the law several years ago, whereas we were not entitled to receive money from the cable companies through the franchise agreements. The last franchise agreements we had were like 2004, 2005, and they all expired. We have come to learn that we still need, even though we do not get money from a franchise agreement, I believe it's by the FCC, that we're required to have something in place. This just protects the county as far as encroachments on our right-of-ways and everything else, keeping the cable companies in line. So we're reestablishing a cable franchise agreement. As we are aware of right now, we only have one company, which is Charter Cable, that will be involved in it, but this will set the ground if anybody else comes in. Am I correct?
Yes, and I would note that the ordinance itself was updated. It was from our original, but it was updated significantly because the law's changed a lot since then. And that was done by our telecommunications counsel, Linda Ain, who is the guru at this in the state and has done this for lots of cities and counties. I think she did the city of Henderson's franchise agreement and many other cities and counties. So this is substantially similar to what the city has done. And as far as the legal details and FCC and all that, that's her specialty, not mine.
Right.
I'll admit that.
So before you, we have a lengthy, the ordinance is lengthy. You see any problem with us just reading a summary on this as well?
If that's acceptable to the court.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
Unless you want to read through all 30 pages. Again, this is, basically a housekeeping issue and not something that will typically affect us day to day unless we get into a dispute with the cable company about, as Kurt said, easements or anything like that. So, if you don't mind, we can read the summary at the top.
An ordinance relating creating a franchise for the operation and maintenance of a cable system in Henderson County, Kentucky, setting forth conditions accompanying the grant of franchise and providing for the regulation and use of said system.
As an ordinance, we'll call the roll. This will be first reading. We'll do it again next meeting, so for second reading. So if you don't mind calling roll.
Let's do it first and second. A motion.
So move.
I'll second.
You have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Call the roll.
All right. Magistrate Starks?
Aye.
Magistrate Berry is absent. Magistrate Southard?
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins?
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
I'll vote aye for the record. Thank you. Would you like to also describe our new hire?
Yes, with court's permission, we found if you didn't realize, we lost our maintenance supervisor back first week of October. So that's another duty I've been pulling with lately, and among other things. We have found a suitable replacement, and we'd like court's permission to hire Stephen Chevalier, beginning December 1st at a pay rate of $24 per hour.
An important position that impacts a lot of things, and including the building across the street, which has been quite an elephant to wrestle. So having a good person in that spot is very important.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second it. And Kurt, is he local?
Yes.
So you have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. I think I spied Lori Miller. You want to come and give us a animal control update?
Thanks for having me. I'm been a little under the weather, so I'll keep this brief. So just a couple of updates. Officer Ashby has returned from his paternity leave, which is great to have another one of those guys back. A1 Plumbing recently flushed out all the drains in the building. As you know, we have a facility built in the 60s, so that's something they recommend doing annually, especially the nature of our work and what goes down those drains. ServPro came and cleaned out. There was a pretty bad unchecked mouse problem before I started there, and since got that in check for the most part, but the waste left behind was still there. So they came and at least cleaned out our closets. It would have been $15,000 for the entire building, and unfortunately that's not in our budget, but at least now we have some usable space for storage. We had been doing shelter repairs such as painting and whatnot. That's on hold until further notice just due to shelter capacity. We currently have 100 animals in our care. That does include some in foster, but you're looking at least 50 dogs in that shelter right now. So we are always right there at overcapacity. So please adopt if you've been thinking about it. So calls for service for animal control, 52 total, top 3 being animals at large. There are 26 of those, 8 deceased pets, and 7 bite reports that they called to. As far as intakes and outcomes, I have our data matrix y'all can look at. I attached to the email. Number of animals entering our shelter last month were 54. Out of those, 24 were adopted, 15 were reclaimed by their owners, 10 were transferred to other facilities or rescues, 1 was euthanized, and 1 died in care. As far as spay and neuter surgeries go, 15 dogs, 15 cats, and 41 rabies vaccines administered. And then just a couple of volunteer and community involvement engagements, which you can see they're on, let's see, just had 4 of those last month. And that's about it. I also attached the expenditures by category you guys can have a look at. I won't go over all of that, but
Lori, I don't have it in front of me, but let me just say, how is the fees for licensing going? Do you see an uptick in them because we can do it online now, or?
As far as which license? Oh, for registering your pets? I think that our officers are starting to really crack down more if you don't have your rabies or your county tag. So I have seen a lot, I've only been there just shy of 3 months. So maybe too soon to see if there's been an uptick, but I think I've noticed a little bit more since they've been actively, pursuing that and making sure that pets are registered and holding people accountable and making sure they have their tags and their rabies.
Help me, is there a QR code on your website that people can go to with their phone and register their pet?
That's a great idea. Our website's a little outdated, so I would like to see something like that available. I will definitely look into that. I like that.
Help me remember, what is it, $5?
$2 for tags for county. Super cheap and affordable. I've considered proposing, raising that, but I guess people still think $2 is suffice.
Might be worth, updating that website.
Absolutely. Yeah. That again, more funds, but it's something I was hoping to explore.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Could I just ask real quick? Previously, we used to take animals across the river to PetSmart and maybe some other locations to try to get them adopted.
Sure.
Are you still doing that, do you know, or are they?
PetSmart has changed in that rescues have to physically go daily care for the animals. It was just cats. They do have those events still. I know my team went to Owensboro the other week, for adoption days, but unfortunately we don't see like huge numbers. We do have an adoption event where we'll have discounted fees in December, so I'm hoping we can get a lot of animals moved during that.
Are there some local places that you'd like to go, or?
Well, this particular adoption event is actually sponsored by Fiscal Pet Foundation, so it's they're pretty strict. It's like a grant funded where we're reimbursed a small percentage for adoptions, so we have to stay in their parameters for the grant. So it'll be in-house at the shelter. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I see one of the medical part is pretty expensive.
The medical part?
The medical, yes.
Absolutely. We have recently gotten meds to where we can administer them in-house instead of having to do a vet visit for each one. So right now, we have an upper respiratory infection, not what I had, but kennel cough going around the shelter, which maybe I have kennel cough, who knows. And so each of those dogs, whenever they get sick, that's a vet visit. So moving forward, we're going to just administer the medication in-house, buy it wholesale, and hopefully cut back on the cost. But that is something not just shelters are facing, just nationwide. There's a vet shortage, so you can't really, shop around for vets anymore. It's hard to find. So, but that is definitely our biggest expense is medical, which, like I said, we have over 50 dogs in our care, and it adds up very quickly.
So animal control, we keep them for 7 days, and then they go over to Humane Society.
10 days, yes, that 10-day straight hold, and then.
So on the medical side of it, if we're keeping the dog and keeping him healthy, when they come and pick the dog up, then they should pay those medical fees. And then if it goes over to Humane Society.
So animal control very rarely takes dogs to the vet. We've had 2 cases that I can think of in the last month, and they were both puppies that were injured. One had an embedded collar, and the other one had been hit by a car. They both turned out to be okay, but those were the only animal control animals that actually went to the vet. It doesn't start getting expensive until they're in our care, and obviously the longer an animal stays at the shelter, the more likely they are to get sick. So
Okay.
I don't know. I hope that it answered your question, or
Well.
no, probably not.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
But just muddied the water.
Yes, it's
Thank you.
not cut and dry.
Lori, we're not missing any grant cycles or anything like that.
Not to my knowledge. I haven't taken over the grant aspect yet. Our board of directors have committees, and we have a grant committee, but one of which is on that committee is this accountant. So during tax season, she's going to be busy, and I hope that I can take the reins over. I've been trying to get operations in order there because I kind of walked into a mess. So hopefully in the spring, I can take
You might
over.
want to mention, you know, that we don't miss any grant cycles for our facility, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have experience with grants, so I'm looking forward to taking that over in the spring for her.
And I just commend you for being able to partner with community businesses, organizations to do what they're doing to try to improve the situation there at the shelter.
Absolutely. We have had a growing community support, which, I mean, we need.
Well,
you know what
absolutely.
our funding looks
Yeah.
like, and it is not a cheap, endeavor, but definitely necessary and beneficial for the county.
Yeah. You know, a reminder that we fund animal control processes and not the Humane Society side of the house, but a healthy Humane Society is good for the animal control efforts. So.
Absolutely.
And speaking of that, you know, I haven't heard any complaints. Sometimes no news is good news when it comes to animal control.
Great.
And I do think the allowing them a separate entrance into the building to come and go seems to be working well.
That's helped because there was just a misunderstanding with the general public, the Humane Society's role in animal control. But, I mean, we work so closely together. Those are, county animals that inevitably end up in our care. And that, so we work together every day. But
Excellent. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next in your package, you have the coroner's report, and Sheila Patterson, if you want to come up and make comments. Welcome.
Morning.
Morning.
You should have a copy of our report for October. We're still running a little over our average for the month. We have had 13 deaths for the month of October. Only had 3 suicides of that group. The rest were natural deaths. And then we've had a couple that were MVAs, motor vehicle accidents. And we continue to have cremations that are pretty equal to what we take care of every month. So we continue to stay busy. Any questions?
It's one of the departments I wish wasn't so busy.
Amen.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Any other questions for Coroner Patterson?
Staffing, are we back up to full strength, or we still need somebody?
No, we're at capacity for now.
Okay, good deal.
Yes. So that's helpful.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Gentlemen, in your package, you have the normal sheriff's monthly reports. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We also have a special request from the Sheriff's Department. Is anybody here to make that request? I will tell you that they informed me about it, and it's in your packet. And I might call up Brent Jacobs to talk a little bit about this, but the computers that are in the cars, in the actual patrol cars, utilize Windows 10, and they need an upgrade. And maybe Brent can talk a little bit about why that's necessary because of expiring software and some things that won't be supported. So if you don't mind coming up, Brent.
Basically, Microsoft killed off Windows 10.
Yeah, it's end of life, and it's not.
Yeah,
gonna be.
there's no more updates, and
Yeah.
these guys are dealing with personal identification information, NCIC. So it's imperative that we get them replaced because most of them are not even upgradable. And with the new CAD software coming shortly, I mean, they need new computers.
Yep.
Seems like the most fiscally responsible way to do this.
Yeah.
These are for their mobile data terminals, right?
Yes,
And
they're
they need to be the
MDTs.
most secure ones we have
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of the sensitive stuff.
They're doing NCIC, they're doing background checks, everything they do in the car, writing tickets with social security numbers.
Right.
I mean,
So they have identified a state contract provider that would mean we do not have to bid it out, that acceptable price to the state. One of the ways they sold this to me is we sold a lot of the military equipment surplus and raised approximately $66,000. And in their minds, that's a good swap for this computer equipment. That's not exactly the way it works, but we do have the ability to find money and help them purchase this equipment, and it's vital. So we can move some money from contingency to help them. I asked them to think about moving money within their budget, but they were worried about coming back later in the year, having blown out a line item to do this, and us being upset with them because they exceeded the line item. So if you, Dwight, I think we've got it figured. Okay. But does anybody have any questions for
The
Dwight?
only thing I was going, is there any type of, service or maintenance agreement that's going to be in addition to this that's going to be required?
No,
Come up to-
as far as money-wise goes?
Correct, for them to do any, updates or anything like
No,
that?
it's included in the price.
Okay. I just didn't see it specifically when I was looking through the line items, and so I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
And introduce yourself in the, just make sure we got it on record.
Dwight Duncan, Sheriff's Department.
So we basically explained the need, and also the technique of saying, let's convert some of the profit from military vehicles we
Yes,
made to.
and we realize that's not our money, it goes to the general fund, but we just thought, since it's a little extra, maybe, it's something that needs to be done. Brent's been talking to me several times about it, and I thought, well, I really just don't have the money, and when this came up, I thought maybe we could use it for that.
Yep.
And I think that concept's acceptable to us.
So we'll be good for what, like 20 years?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm hoping we're good for a while,
It would be nice to be
I have
at
been
least
using,
a
I've
couple of
been
years.
using a lot of refurbished computers off Amazon, and that's what I've been using. And I thought, I need to get something that's actually
Yeah.
going to work and stay there for hopefully several years. That's the reason why I'm going with him.
Yeah. So I need a motion to move forward with this.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
So
Any discussion?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got Brenda on board with how we're going to do this?
Well, we will reach into our general fund contingency.
Okay. So
And-
it's not just a swap here.
That's
right.
Okay.
And something
I'm good.
that Brenda wanted me to bring up, and I almost forgot about it until you mentioned that, is so far we've only got like $2,700 of that military money, but everything's been picked up, and so we will get that money. Everything's been paid for. We're just waiting. We got $19,000 downstairs for you right now, and everything else should be coming also.
And that goes into a line item in the general fund. But to do
Yes.
this, we would take money out of contingency and move
Okay.
it to there.
Just making sure
Yeah.
we don't need to make her mad.
No.
No, I talked with her yesterday.
No. She's good to go. So we do have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Get that done, please.
All right, thank you,
Dwight.
gentlemen, appreciate it.
Thanks, Dwight.
Next, Jailer Bruce Todd, you have his monthly reports, and he'd like to show us a special video that they've done helping recruit new deputies. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have our report before you. Currently, we in the population, we have 99 county inmates, 121 state, and we're down a little bit on feds. We're 193 feds. We got 40 in the SAP, FG, fugitive. That's 4 waiting to go to other counties. I think they're gone now. They've left. And for a total of 458. We're continuing to, on the program of our expansion of the facility. We finished our application, and we have emailed that to the Department of Correction for review. So we're waiting back from them, and I'd like to sit down with when we talk about it with the court, with magistrates and judge, and then we're in the progress of renewing the expire lease that's coming up on the property for the probation parole.
You foresee any issues with that?
No, sir. We've talked, probably, it was 6 years, and we'll probably just continue. We've got a discussion going on about some cameras issues there, so, but I don't see any issues with that whatsoever. Then we would like to go out. Our radios are like 12 years old. We're constantly repairing them. We got like 10 in repair right now in Evansville. So we'd like to go out for a RFP on looking at purchasing new radios for the facility.
And you also have an RFP for, we'd like to go get an RFP for a new transport van.
Yes, I did that. We did that RFP in September the 5th through the 12th. We didn't get any response. And the last meeting that I was here, I talked about continuing going on, looking at the state program. And then I've been out of commission for 3 weeks. So
yeah. So you like to continue that
process? I like
process?
to continue that process. So just go ahead and look at another federal.
Get a motion to approve their approval to do an RFP for the two-way radios and continue that process for the van.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Can I just say?
Sure.
I mean, I know we use vendors for the sheriffs and all that. Is there, are these radios similar to what the sheriff would use?
No.
Not quite as.
That program, remember when we did the 911, I was on that committee then, and Jailer Henderson decided not to go with them, that process. So our radios are different.
Okay.
They're more in-house radios for your communications.
Just our
only.
communications
Yeah,
inside, yeah. Not for, I've had discussion with the sheriff, but, so those are just in-house radios.
Okay.
Thank you, Bruce.
But they do have to work through some pretty thick walls, and metal doors and things
Yeah, they're
like that,
getting
which is a
really
different
nice,
problem.
so it'd be a safety issue also, yeah. These radios that we're looking at are a lot better.
Any other questions? We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And then at last, I'd like to introduce Officer Morrow. He came to me with an idea about recruitment video, and we talked about it, and we thought it was a great idea. So we did one, and I'll always like to, when somebody in the department comes up with an idea, to let them be a part of that. So, Brent, you want to play that video?
Are you looking for your team? Come, meet the challenge with us. We are looking for men and women who are resilient, determined, assertive, enthusiastic, reliable, professional, dedicated, courageous. You may be meeting someone on the worst day of their lives. Do you have what it takes? Show us. Find your calling and be the one to make a difference. HCDC, one team, one fight. Join us today.
Man, where do I sign up?
Yes. I'm all
Rock and
in.
roll. That's great. That was fantastic.
It really was
You want to
good.
say anything?
Yeah, if you don't mind, sir.
Just real quickly, yeah.
It's real quick. Well, thank you all for your time today. I sure appreciate it. My name is Officer Amaro. I'm the third shift booking supervisor for the jail. I've been affiliated with the facility on and off for about 15 years now, and it's a big part of who I am. It's a big part of my career. Before my career in law enforcement, I'm a professionally trained actor, singer, and believe it or not, dancer. I actually am.
Really?
We do that.
Yes. Yes. Come in, we do a dance for you. But I'm trained in New York City. I've got a lot of film, television, and theater and Broadway experience. So this was actually a 7-month plus long project in collaboration between myself and Cinefreak Pictures, the company that my boss was kind enough to hire for us. I've worked with them 1.5 billion times. They have
to date 5 Emmy nominations and 2 Emmy wins. They're a very experienced, very professional company. They're based in Evansville. They're very good people. They're wonderful. And thank you to Jailer Todd for allowing me the opportunity to do this. And I think it's going to generate a lot of applicants, especially when we know of current staff's retirement plans. And in my line of work, that ebb and flow of people is a constant thing. And I think this is going to do everything to help give us every edge we possibly can. And for the record, in front of y'all, wonderful people, I just want to say that Kurt Wiesen is my hero, and I want to be like him when I grow up. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I assume this is going to be a social media video primarily.
Yes, it is not designed for television.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
demographic that we're going
Right.
for does not watch television.
That's right.
They watch.
We'll certainly help spread the word, and that's a great video. And Vince, this is a feature story writing itself right here. Broadway veteran, now a jailer, doing cool videos. So thank you very, very much. It's cool. We're going to spread the word.
Yeah, let us know when you get ready to put it out so we can share it.
That's entirely his decision.
Yeah.
Is there a
You
way,
guys are
maybe we
great.
could show that like out the high school or a
Sure can.
CTO, like community college,
This
places
is
like
a
that?
video that the jail owns in perpetuity. It is the facilities. They can do what they want with it, when they want with it. We are in still great communication with Cinefreak Pictures LLC. They are a wonderful company. Again, whatever tweaks and edits the jailer wants to see happen, they can make them on the fly very quickly. I can't speak enough for them. So.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
I
great
appreciate
job.
it.
Thank you.
Next, Renese Abner, your report.
Carrie's here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see there.
She's in a meeting this morning, so.
You're pinch hitting.
So I'm here. I have the excess fees for the month of October of $109,178.83 and total remitted to the county of $161,275.10.
Need a motion
Move
to
to
accept?
accept.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Gold, your report.
Judge, I've got several checks today. Flow through from the city, $458.33. Interest checks, $249.56, $83.18, $77.05, $83.18, and $363.49. Health insurance, $16,892.77. Dental life vision, $728.20, $11.10. Aflac, $364.74. Another interest check, $31.41. And a county budget reimbursement, $3,922.10, totaling $23,265.11, and bringing the fiscal year to date to $116,767.24. And Ms. Hannah tells me she's never had $23,000 or more in her hand, so I'm going to ask her to hand that to you. And I always say it's just like being an adult. You get some money come in, and then you have to turn around and hand it to government.
Well, thank you very much, and entertain a motion to accept those.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Gold. Treasurer Brenda Ryder.
This is the first reading of Budget Amendment Number 1 for the current fiscal year. Total for this amendment is $858,334.43. This is increasing unbudgeted receipts for the road and opioid funds. The breakdown for this is increasing the road fund receipts by $447,334.43. This is revenue that was not budgeted but was received for FEMA for the 2025 flood. The corresponding appropriation for this is maintenance and repairs and equipment for the road fund. Also increasing the opioid fund receipts by $411,000 with the corresponding appropriation of opioid fund distributions. What the breakdown for this is for the earlier appointed advocate of $92,000, and then the possible future purchase for the Deaconess equipment of $319,000. Again, the total for this amendment is $858,334.43.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this first reading. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
I have transfers. The transfers are as presented, and this is redistributing appropriations within the existing budget. I also have a cash transfer from the general fund to the jail fund, $12,127.93. This is to correct a 10/30/2025 deposit error.
Move to approve.
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
You have received your bank balances after paying claims today. Your day-to-day appropriation should be at approximately 41%. I do have additional claims from the general fund to Angela Comer and Brenda Ryder, $5,152.67 each. This is for the 2025 training incentive and is to be paid with the 12/4/2025 payroll. This is to come from the judges and treasurers training incentive appropriation lines. From the jail fund to Republic Services, $810.74. This is for monthly services and is to come from the contracted services other appropriation line.
Move to pay the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pay the claims. Any other questions on claims? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
We'll note that through the end of this month, as Brenda projects, we overall, the entire budget are only at 28% of spending. So we're doing a good job holding the line. All the department heads, elected officials are doing a good job staying within their budgets, and it's just good to be, so conservative this early in the year when you never know what's going to happen later in the year. So everybody deserves a pat on the back for doing a good job, and revenues are at budget or better, so all's well.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll open it up for good of the county. If anybody would like to say anything for good of the county, feel free to come to the podium. Please introduce yourself.
I am Deirdre McConaughey, no address
Yeah, no, yeah.
sufficient. This is going to be short, which is to say that on November 4th, I presented to the Planning Commission a request for a BES moratorium to be considered for our current BES text, as a text amendment to our current BES ordinance. I wanted to present today to give a report both to the Planning Commission, to let them know that I followed through on their directive, and also transparency to the community that has a considerable interest in this matter. So what I have to report is that I did provide a written request to the fiscal court. I followed the Planning Commission's directive. And on December 2nd, the judge, my attorney, and Steve Gold, or his representative, and I will meet to discuss putting this on the agenda. And so I appreciate, as we move forward, that we all have discussion about this topic as partners to work towards how perfect to say this during the good of the county. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak for good of the county? Okay. With that, we'll go around the horn. Master Southern.
Hannah, congratulations. It's been a long one, so you got lucky. You got to sit through all this stuff, but it's important. it says a lot that you get picked from your school because you go to a pretty big school. And they picked you. That's says a lot about you. I can tell Mom and Dad are very proud, and we're proud of you too. So congratulations. All's good in District 3.
Master Tompkins?
Well, Miss Hannah, first of all, I'd like to say we're very proud of you, as I'm sure your family is. I grew up with your mother, so I know you come from a good family, and I'm excited to get to talk to you guys more at lunch. But, you know, I say this a lot because it's true every time. Getting selected for what you've been selected for means you do the right thing when nobody's watching, because you know that's the right thing to do. And that's one of the foundational pieces of being a really good leader, right? Attorney Gold said something that stuck with me that I thought was pretty, simple, but I never considered it. Don't wait till you're our age, an adult, to start being involved and doing things with that talent and those smart and great thoughts, you know what I mean? So look for ways to be involved as a young person, because we need your perspectives too. So again, congratulations. We're very proud of you, and I look forward to talking to you lunch. All's good too, Judge.
Master Putman?
Thank you, Judge. Hannah, congratulations. And of course, you've earned all these accolades these magistrates have just mentioned. Just something I often wondered how we could follow up, with our scholars. And I actually got in touch with 3 of the previous scholars, and they're all doing exceptionally well. They're still holding the line. Excellent students, just great people. And again, I think it contributed to your home life. I think you guys do a great job, and you should be very proud. But there's not a whole lot of you guys that's out there since we started this in 2011. I need to go back and kind of get a real number, but it's not that many. And just like was mentioned, it's a pretty big honor to get selected out of that entire school. Yeah. So wear it proud. 25th November, that's your day in Henderson County. Judge, and all is good in District 4.
Thank you. Mr. Gold?
Thank you, Judge. And again, congratulations, Hannah. Following up on what Magistrate Putman said, I do know where one of Hannah's predecessors as an East Heights Judges Scholar is. My daughter is about to graduate from college with a double major in accounting and marketing, so just a little proud. It's a pride that doesn't go away, right? I'm still very proud of the fact that she was a Judges Scholar. But congratulations to you. There's only one student in all of East Heights that got picked, and that's you. That's awesome. And there are a lot of great students out there, aren't there? But you got picked. That's great. Like Magistrate Tompkins said, everybody will say that you're the future, but you're also the today. You're the reason a whole lot of what we talked about today is about trying to make Henderson County better for you and people your age. So that's something we have to keep in mind as we're doing things, is trying to make the best Henderson we can for the future, to make it thrive and grow and make it safe. I want to thank, again, the folks from the Beacon being here today. I think that is the type of program that is going to make Henderson a better place to live. Dealing with some of the issues and cycles that are going on in some of the families that we've got. Anything we can do to move resources earlier in the pipeline, the better. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of the Boys and Girls Club. I think it's great because it builds kids that hopefully don't ever try things like drugs or opioids, but when they do, and when they do have some sort of system involvement, having an organization like the Beacon, having a person like this district court advocate there to try to help them get back on the right path is going to be so important for continuing to make Henderson a place where everybody can be involved and thrive. So thank you for being willing to get outside your comfort zone of Webster County and come up here to do that. I really am excited about what the possibilities are of this. As Thanksgiving is coming, I want to give thanks for the staff and the opportunity to be able to work with all the people here in county government. A lot of the folks that don't get seen at fiscal court meetings or don't get on, Facebook, don't get shout outs or anything like that. We have a lot of unsung heroes in county government, from taking care of potholes to guarding people at the jail, to you name it, making sure that people are able to get their vehicles titled, things like that. And no better example of that is the people that I have the opportunity to work with in my office. We have a team of dedicated prosecutors, a team of dedicated child support workers. Just very honored and blessed to be able to work with each of them, and I give thanks for that opportunity. Wish everybody has a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Magistrate Starks.
Thank you, Judge, and great to see everybody here and also online joining us for this very important meeting. And I just want to add, Hannah, I think I just had an out-of-body experience, because everything I was about to say was covered by Mr. Gold. I mean, word for word, just about.
Usually I have to go after you, so this
That's
is
right,
good.
yeah. But in all seriousness, congratulations, and keep up what you're doing, because you're on the right path, and it's obvious. But as Steve mentioned, to pick you out of all the really fine students that are there at East Heights, that really does say something special. So enjoy your day. And if Magistrate Berry were here, he would want me to ask, are you prepared for the test that we're going to be giving you? You have been taking good notes, right? Oh, well, that's just a joke. We're not going to test you, but we hope that you've learned certainly a little bit more about what happens at county government level, and as again the county attorney mentioned, a lot of it is for our future generations, and we're trying to look to the future, maybe updating some of our ordinances, instituting new programs, making sure that we've got good water service throughout the county. That's very important. So just a lot of different ways. So great to have you here. Have a great lunch. Eat dessert first. Life is short. Just whatever you want to do. It's your day. Judge, if you'll indulge me, I just wanted to say I've got a red bucket here. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. I'm part of the Salvation Army Board, thanks to Butch, and a lot of the good folks, Roy Pullum as well, got me involved. In addition to the kettles that we have at Sherway and Walmart for this holiday season, we've now gone to these little miniature buckets, and I've pledged to raise at least $100, if not more, this holiday season. And so I'm going to ask if anybody would like to make a donation after this is over. Just drop it in right there, and it's very much appreciated. It all stays right here in Henderson. We need help. We've got a lot of people in need in our community, and really the Red Kettle Drive is our most important and biggest fund drive of the year. So if you can give here or give at one of the sites. I would also encourage my fellow magistrates and you, Judge, and everybody listening, if you can help ring the bells this season. And there's an online QR code that you can use and do that right there from your phone or your computer. You can pick the time, the date, location where you want to be. And if you can just give maybe an hour or two of your time, it means a whole lot. And it means that we don't have to actually end up paying somebody to ring bells. And so I would encourage folks to do that. After today, I'm going to put this down. The sheriff has agreed to allow me to put it on one of their counters downstairs. And so hopefully the next time you see this, it'll be really heavy, full of donations. And any donation is appreciated. All donations are appreciated, any denomination. Just coming up, I realize this upcoming, not this weekend, but next, we've got Christmas in the Park. It's already starting to go up, which is great to see our backyard here at the courthouse take on a whole new look. And thanks to all the people to make that a reality. Our Christmas parade, look forward to being a part of that again on December the 6th at 10 a.m. The following day at 4 p.m. over at First United Methodist Church, and we had the minister here earlier for the invocation, is the Alice B. Taylor Candlelight Service. And that's always a wonderful service, great way to start the holiday season, free of charge. They had a great Thanksgiving service too this past Sunday night, And we'll have a replay of that. I say we. I recorded it. I gave it to the radio station. So they'll have that on their Speak Up program this Thursday. So while you're cooking the bird and everything else, listen in. There's some great, really, remembrances about what this season is all about. And it will last about 30 minutes. So that's probably enough to get your mashed potatoes done. I wrote all this down so I wouldn't forget it. Oh, speaking of Thanksgiving, Black Friday, buy local. And I've already started. I'm going to actually pick up my turkey Wednesday at Thomason's. And I just encourage folks, as much as you can, try to help our local merchants during this holiday season because they really need it and appreciate it. With that, everything else is good in the 5th.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's always time to sit back and it's like fireside chat with Bill Starks. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Hannah, and you should be proud. I know your parents are proud. I know the school's proud. Can I ask, is it already a done deal? You're going to be an architect? Is that like written in stone? No? Okay, good. No pressure that way? Good. Well, congratulations again, and we're glad you're with us, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Hang that proclamation in a place of honor, right? So, great meeting today. You lasted through a very eventful and substantive fiscal court meeting. A lot of stuff happened today, all over the map. Anything you can imagine seemed to. But I really take some satisfaction. We're finally beginning to utilize these opioid funds in a way that will help people. It's been a struggle because of the very strict guidelines that are involved with these to find a good fit. And we're on our way, I think, to utilizing them the way the settlements were intended. A lot of other good things that we got done today, moving on with today, and things that can help the public and small business, and that's what it's all about. So thank you all for slogging through a long one, and Hannah, good job. You seem to hang in there. Steve, I think she was attentive and outstanding. That's always good to see. All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion. Before I let go, for the fiscal court, reminder that after our next fiscal court meeting, is that right? Mm-hmm. We will be having our annual employee luncheon, and I encourage you to be there. Angela may be hitting you up for a little help for paying for the luncheon or employee prizes. But that's one of the best things we do all year long, recognize our team, some of those unsung people who have served us a long time. Yes?
I now just remembered what I forgot to say, and that is thanks. Thanks, everybody, for giving us this privilege to serve, and great people to work with. As Steve mentioned, he really took my thunder. But I just want to say thanks for a great community that we get to be a part of. And just be grateful, have a grateful heart this Thanksgiving season. But I wanted to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. So be mindful if you can attend that luncheon with us. It's a great time, great way to give back to our team. So that'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second, and all those in favor can leave.